Hey there, folks. If you vote for me, I promise to cut your taxes, increase government spending, and sprinkle a little bit of fairy dust all over your cold sores. You don't want those things getting out of control, folks. People will talk about you. Bad for business if your face looks like a minefield. My name's Eddie McOwskey, and I'm currently running for New Jersey State Governor, President of the United States, and whatever else you got out there. I don't know, Mayor of Rochester, or state senators of some stupid state. You're listening to Eddie McOwskey's Balance Your Taxes podcast, which is me talking to you and hopes that you adopt my opinions and go scream about me in the streets the next time you get in the car and, I don't know, go to Foot Locker to get a pair of those crappy shoes that they sell. Folks, the title of today's podcast is Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Whatever you do, please, don't call me late for dinners. I beg of you. I got nothing in the fridge except, a couple boxes of Quick and, a chopstick or two. Folks, as we speak, the United States Senate is voting on whether or not to allow gays in the military. Currently, we got this policies called Don't Ask, Don't Tell that we've had since 1993 with Mr. Bill Clinton. He came out and he said, you can be gay in the military, we just don't want to hear about it. Which is like the same policy the rest of us have, but about vegetarians. Which is like the same policies the rest of us have for people who have scoliosis. Which is like the same policy the rest of us have, about people who are Mormons. So basically, folks, what's going on here is that everybody in the Senate is debating on whether or not we should have gays in the military. Then everybody's turning into a big queen about it, saying that it's going to hurt morale, then everybody's going to be running around, nervous and feeling uncomfortable about the gay man who's sleeping in the barracks. Saying that we gotta change the barracks, put up new drapes so that people can have their privacy. Folks, I think we're all adults here. If you're sleeping in a barracks full of your fellow men who are naked, even the straight guys are gonna take a peek or two. When you're at the urinals, you're telling me you don't have, the peripheral. Anywho. So, folks, basically what the situation is, some people think that openly gays should be in the military, some people think you should be gay, and no, you just, shut it, folks. And some people think that, no gays at all, get rid of them. We don't need you. Thank you for applying. We'll fight these wars with a couple of 18-year-olds we found at the mall. Folks, I, Eddie McOwskey, believe I have done it again and solved this problem with solutions that I haven't heard anybody else mention so far. Allow only gays into the military, folks. It's a scientific fact that 10% of any given population is homosexuals. 10%. Now, what is the population of the United States of America, folks? Roughly 300 million. You know what 10% of that is? I don't. I had to look it up on the little calculator on my cell phones. It's 30 million. 10% of the United States population is 30 million. That's a guaranteed 30 million people who will join the armies because that's where the rest of the gay peoples are. Folks, how many people are currently in the armed services? Well, in active duty, we have around 1,500,000 troops. And in the reserves, we have around 1,200,000 troops. These numbers aren't very accurate. I found them on some cheap website that took me, I gave up after a while, folks. The United States doesn't really publicize how many troops are in the military, as I found out. Folks, I know what you're thinking. You stare at me and go, Eddie McOwskey, what are you possibly talking about? An army full of gay people? We're gonna have a big gay army? Well, what that? Aren't they gonna be kicking their legs and singing show tunes? And aren't the lesbians just gonna be off in a corner drinking coffees and wearing overalls or something? Folks, seriously, in my experiences, I have never seen a gay man or a lesbian woman lose in a fight. Those people are scrappy, folks. They win fights. When's the last time you saw Rosie O'Donnell saying, I surrender? Folks, they really go for it when they get into trouble, folks. So, Imagine having a whole army of those folks. And you think about it. If you every day of your life you have to hold in a secret and take in abuse about who you are, that you have no way of changing it, and you don't know it, you're just made to feel like you should have shame because of the way you love. If you go through life each day being reminded about how different and falsely how wrong you are, and there's no cure for you, and you're an abomination, and you never fit in. If you go through your whole life through that little crack that society makes you squeeze your face through every day, if you're living like that, you're gonna need to blow off a little bit of steam. So I'm saying, why not give those guys a couple of guns, throw them in the deserts, and just see how this war on terror ends up? Folks, my name's Eddie McOwskey. Please vote for me.